The RNC hitting back at the violent left after weeks of raging protests against newly confirmed Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. New Antifa attacks unfolding on the streets of Portland, and Democrats stoking radical rhetoric.
When they go low, we kick them.
And if you see anybody in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be. You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about.
Get up and please get up in the face of some Congress people.
Tucker Carlson is here. He's the host of Tucker Carlson Tonight and the author of Ship of Fools, which is sitting at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. Congratulations, Tucker.
Thank you, Jesse.
So, in my opinion, without the power of the state, liberals don't have the House, the Senate, or the White House. So now there's no way for them to deploy liberalism. So they're forced to go to the streets and bully and intimidate people. What do you think about this tactic?
I think that is true. I think they have the power of the HR department in most companies. I think they have the power of the tech monopolies, which control all human information. So I think they have a lot of power outside of government. But
right.
I think you're absolutely right. The purpose of these mobs is to effect a political end. It's not just that they're mad, though the kids are probably mad. It's they've been told to be mad so they can reach an objective, which is getting Democrats elected to positions of power. I mean, it's definitely only about that.
And it's not about persuasion. They're not trying to articulate an idea and then convince voters to choose that idea. They're just trying to scream and harass their political enemies and trying to make them cower in fear.
That's exactly right. And by the way, liberals, Democrats, if they wanted to make a case for middle-class economic empowerment, for populist economics, they'd probably just win, actually. That might be just easier.
Don't say that. Don't tell them that. There could be liberals watching, Tucker.
So Trump wins out of nowhere. Why not steal his ideas and make them your own? That's what a healthy system does.
Yeah, I mean,
a rotten system does this.
You're right, because, you know, they never did a real assessment of why they lost in 2016. They totally forgot about the working-class white men and women in this country, and they've doubled down on identity politics, and instead they could be talking about health care, college tuition, anything else, but now they're dwelling on Kavanaugh, which is a losing issue for them.
Well, because it's insane. I mean, the idea that the Kavanaugh debate was about an entire race of people, it's white men, I mean, it's like that's crazy talk. It's totally divisive, and as you said, it's the cul-de-sac of identity politics, which just wrecks the country. I mean, you don't kind of get anything. I mean, maybe you get to win a midterm election on that, but you destroy the country you're governing in the end. And like most people, even liberals, Democrats are like, I don't know, this is not good. I think most people are afraid of that kind of stuff.
All right, well, speaking of afraid, the Democrats, especially the media, very afraid of Kanye West and his relationship with Donald Trump. Here is Kanye kind of spreading some love to the president in the Oval.
I love this guy right here. Let me give this guy a hug right here. I love this guy right here.
That's really nice. That's really nice. And that's from the heart.
And the media reaction, apoplectic. Listen to this.
Wow. Okay, I'm doing this for everybody who's watching us who turned their volume down. You can put it back up again.
But if you think you're going to get a thoughtful play-by-play and political analysis, you're not, because that was an assault on our White House.
This was a giant, shiny object in the Oval Office wearing a red hat.
What I saw was a minstrel show today. Him in front of all of these white people, mostly white people, embarrassing himself and embarrassing Americans, but mostly African Americans. Kanye's mother is rolling over in her grave.
This is white supremacy by ventriloquism. A black mouth is moving, but white racist ideals are flowing from Kanye West's mouth.
Tucker, I don't even know what to say.
I do.
I'm at a loss for words. Go ahead.
That last guy who's calling racism lives in my neighborhood. A rich white neighborhood. It's hilarious. I mean, look, this is
Michael Eric Dyson, right?
Yes, that's correct. Lives right down the block from me. So this is just what they think they have to say in order to make sure that none of us take what Kanye West said seriously. I don't know anything about Kanye West. He seems pretty eccentric to me. It doesn't mean he's not telling the truth about a couple of things, the most obvious being, hey, if the Democratic Party is so great for black people, then why is Detroit a disaster in the south side of Chicago? That's a totally fair thing to say. They can't allow that to be said, so they have to crush him. He's crazy. By the way, if they think he's crazy, why are they attacking him? If you attacked a homeless guy in the bus with schizophrenia, you would be a bad person. But it's okay to attack Kanye West because he's crazy? I mean, this is just purely utilitarian, kind of authoritarian tactics against the guy.
You're exactly right. And you know what? When his music's bumping, they're nodding their head. And when he's saying George Bush doesn't care about black people, they're nodding their head. And then he says, make America great again, and they're shaking their head, and they're calling him crazy. It's pretty unbelievable. I want to ask you a question. And the theme of this is, where are they now? Where is Dr. Ford? Where is Stormy Daniels? Where's Omarosa and her tapes? Because the media, these were the people in the media that they were, these three people, they were going to, you know, these were icons. These were icons, and the media just gave them a big hug and was protecting them and showcasing them, and they've been dropped.
Yep. Well, but that's always the case. Where's Richard Jewell, who he blamed for the Atlanta bombing? He died. You know what I mean? What happened to Gary Condon, who he accused of murder? You know, he's like running a Baskin Robbins in Bakersfield.
What about the Muslim filmmaker that caused Benghazi?
Exactly.
Where is he now?
We use people in the media to make our point. And on the left, it's to support the Democratic Party. And once you are no longer useful, they don't care about you. So Stormy Daniels, I happen to know, is working in strip bars in secondary towns and having beer bottles thrown in her. Nobody cares, whereas her creepy porn lawyer is out there running for president. He's used her and left. The media uses. What happened to Mark Judge, who last week we were accusing of rape because we thought it was helpful? He's a real person. He used to work for me. I know him. Whatever happened, they destroyed his life, and now nobody cares. Because it's not about helping individuals. No. It's about obtaining power. That's all it's about.
Right. It's about the grand scheme of things. And, and Avenatti's now trying to challenge Don Jr. to a cage match. I don't even know if he has Stormy's cell phone number anymore as she dances for dollars. So, your new book, Tucker Carlson, Ship of Fools. I have it right here. It's Grateful Dead reference. Is that what that's about?
Yes, it is. It's also book 7 of The Republic by Plato, where he writes down Socrates' pearls of wisdom. But no, look, the point is really simple. Why did Trump get elected? No one expected it, including, I would say, Trump. It happened, and that's a sign, obviously, that the people who are making the decisions did a really bad job. They're the only ones who don't know that. They're instead blaming voters for this. And I think that we need to be very clear about what happened and why, because we can't learn anything from it otherwise.
All right, well, check out Tucker's book. He's knocked Bob Woodward off of the #1 slot. There he is. Tucker Carlson, thanks very much.
Thank you, Jesse.